Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Humble Fitness channel. We're trying to do this vlog-based style stuff where we're just really just showing you guys our day in our life in the Smoky Mountains. Right now we're just going on a walk. That's a typical routine for me and Nicole. We don't always go on walks together. We want to be effective, so as a team, as a partner, as a husband and wife, we sometimes will just, I'll take Mochi on a walk, or Nicole will take Mochi on for a walk. But today we're going together because we want to do this video together. Big news, big news. Nicole is joining my business full time. And I think God's worked it in such a way that this is His will. I truly believe that. Both me and Nicole believe that this is God's will. And the reason why is because of, guys, I started gearing myself towards training and encouraging Christian men to be better stewards of their health and fitness, because I really felt like God told me this back like in right before COVID hit, or right during the heat of COVID. I went to this conference called the Health and Freedom Conference that was out in Ohio, Tulsa, and big names, either Clay Clark, General Flynn, you name it, they were all there, and we were there to basically just expose all the craziness that was going on during the, and how the, or whatever you want to call it, is killing people. And during that time, this Health and Freedoms Conference of exposing all the lies that we've been going through during this info war that we've been in, I felt God speak to me, and He was saying, I want you to train my people, I want you to train my men, and I want you to train my women to be better stewards of the things that I've given them, especially their bodies. Guys, our greatest gift in this life is this life. Our greatest gift in this life is not the things that we have particularly, that God's also blessed us with, the homes and the cars and the things and the finances, but our bodies. It's the first and foremost, right? It's where our bodies are literally the temple of the Holy Spirit. So I've been trying to encourage men in their masculinity, but I don't feel called to train females in their femininity. And we need that. We see so many strong masculine females nowadays, and I think there are some natural born leaders in the female, in the female race, in that sex category. But I truly believe that females, I know it sounds redundant, they flourish in femininity. They flourish when they can be feminine. And what's the best way to do that? What's the best way to encourage females of the day to be biblically feminine than a female that loves the Lord, than a woman that loves the Lord and is trying her very best to embody those traits? So my wife is coming on full time, and we really do believe that this is God's will to help people in this area. So I'm going to hand the camera off in a second here. We're going to be doing a loop around here for our dog. That's what we always do. We do about a mile loop around our neighborhood every day, about 1 or 2 times a day. But I want Nicole to speak on it because she's the one that's joining the business full time, and I want her to talk about her thoughts and what she's ready to do and what she wants to do for this business, for our business. So here you go.
Hey guys, so we've obviously been making this transition, and it's been a little crazy in that transition, me retiring from my job, coming on full time with Steven's business, and really just honestly trying to figure out God's will through all of this, because it's scary to make huge changes, dramatic changes in your life, and you really have to just walk by faith in order to do so. But as Steven was explaining, just the world of women right now, like, we see so many women that are just embracing very masculine roles in their life, and just like, I'm all for women. I'm not hating on women, but there is a freedom that comes when you just, as a woman, live through your femininity and like are able to surrender some of that masculinity. When I was, 22 years old, I moved up to New York completely on my own. I left my family in Florida, and I moved up to New York, and I had to provide for myself. I had to be completely on my own, and I had to pick up a lot of masculine energy that was needed in the time, but it's not needed through my life and through my marriage. Because, for example, when Stephen and I got married, I realized that there was almost a wrestling match that happened between him and I, between who had the most power, who had the most authority. And it's because I had grown into being this very strong, masculine woman. I was that girl boss. I was hustling 3 jobs at a time, paying off so much of my student loans. And I was a legit hustler at that point, with just working my tail off to do what I had to do. And when Stephen and I got married, that is something that the Lord revealed to me, that that was good for a season, but that was not your purpose. That is not your overall purpose, is to hold on to and cling on to that masculine energy, because there is so much freedom that comes with surrendering that. And when you're able to surrender that masculinity, whenever you're able to, as a woman, surrender that to your husband and submit to him, there is such a level of freedom of just being like how Jesus is with the church, and knowing Jesus' love for the church, and that your burdens just feel released. It's the same when you surrender that femininity, surrender that masculinity for femininity, and you're able to enjoy the feminine things. You're able to make your house a home. You're able to work, not have to work outside, but you can work outside. You can work on bettering your surroundings, bettering your garden, bettering the things around you, and just making it more homey, making it more, honestly, just more lovely, more pleasant to be around. When you're able to just spoil a little puppy dog rotten, even though he loves Stephen more than me. But there's just so much freedom that comes with that. And don't get me wrong, it's hard. It's hard as can be in the world, the day and age we live in, where feminism is rampant. Girl bosses are everywhere telling you how they're so much better than guys and how they everything, and it's toxic.
And with that, and I want to talk on that too, because we see like a power struggle in the real world when it comes to female energy and feminine energy and masculine energy. Guys, we've become more feminine, and girls have become more masculine. We have traded places, and we are okay with being soft. We're okay with not being the breadwinners. We're okay with not practicing self-mastery, which is really just the betterment of ourselves. We should always be aspiring to be the 2.0 versions for ourselves and for others, but we a lot of times have been okay with stagnancy, and we've been okay with weakness. We've been okay with being lazy. We've grown fat. We're okay staying at home. We're okay taking there's a number of things that we have done that we become more weak. I'm not, maybe not so always effeminate, but we become more weak. And the ways that we become more feminine is, we're okay not leading. We're okay being led. Another example is that we're okay with being cucks. I hate to say that word, but for example, for a lot of us, we're okay with the idea of pornography. We'll probably have to blurt that out later, but we're okay with watching another man screw another girl or whatever your cup of tea is. And that is the ultimate behavior. Cuckold is an old term used to describe a man that's okay watching another man sleep with his own prize, you know, with his wife, or not even his own, just like the idea of wanting something that's not yours and desiring it but not actually working for it. And this is in effect what we've seen with the society, is that we're not hardworking anymore. We don't have that backbone that we used to have. I'm not trying to glorify what we grew up in, you know, like, or what our parents grew up in. I'm not trying to say that we should completely bring back like the 1930s and 1940s. There are things that they should not have done. For example, like I said, I believe I was saying Stoicism. That's what our old traditional masculinity was built on, the Stoicism. And that had its problems too. The biggest problem with being is like, you can't look weak. You can't show emotion. If you're not competent in a certain area, don't show that. So essentially just pushing your emotions down and not showing weakness. But guess what? That would cause a lot of bitterness and anger in most men. And that's what would lead, you know, I believe that's what led to a lot of men beating their wives. You know, and I don't believe the statistics that men truly abuse their wives that much. I think that's propaganda. But that's one of the reasons why I believe is because we were forced to bottle up, and even to this day, we still bottle up. So biblical feminine and the biblical masculinity is that we nail our emotions to the cross, and we submit, and we're proactive with our emotions and give it to the Lord. And we're not going to be reactionary. We're not going to react out of emotion, but in our emotional situations, we're going to give it to the Lord and say, God, what would you want me to do with this? So that's the big news. You know, a little side tangent right now. We're in the middle of our loop right now with our walk with Mochi. As you can see, it's really steep.
You can't tell.
Oh, you can't tell? Can you point it down there?
It's pretty.
But yeah, that's our spiel. So not to talk y'all's ears off, but I truly believe God's worked this out in a way that I'm going to encourage men to be more masculine and in the biblical sense, and same thing for Nicole, but in the female sense, in the feminine sense. So we're praying that we can make a large impact in the world. I believe it's all about impact, positive impact, spreading the gospel, being God's light to those around us. And you know, I realized that that's a dream I've kind of let die as I got older. That at one point in my life, when I was like, from the age, pretty much from like the time I had a conscience, and you know, so like, you know, whatever that's age 4 or 5 till like age 16, I had this dream that I wanted to change the world. And I realized the world kind of choked that out of me. And I'm getting back to that place now where I believe God's reigniting that fire in me, that through this business, I believe that we're going to be able to make a big splash in this ocean. So take that as you will. I believe that with all my heart. I believe that we've already made a pretty big impact as it is. And I'm praying that we can do more so over the years to come. Nicole, you have anything to add?
No, you killed it.
Cool. So all right, guys, we're going to finish up our walk. We're almost done. It's getting pretty dark out. It's about 8:30, I think, right now. Yeah, expect to see more of this stuff in the future. We're going to be doing more vlog-based stuff. And you guys can see the beautiful area that we live in. We really don't take advantage of, you know, all that this landscape has to offer. And we live in one of the most beautiful areas in the world where people literally come all over the place, all over the world to travel to this area. So I'm praying that one day me and Nicole can look back at this video and be like, hey, that's where it all started. You know, that's where it all started really growing. Business is growing really well right now. It's doing really well. God, we're so thankful, but we're just getting started.